Hello and welcome to a different kind of video. Now, I've been debating all day whether to make this video at all, but I think that certain behaviour needs to be called out when it happens. And for what has happened this past weekend at a book convention goes beyond just petty book community drama. Before we get into the video, there are going to be some trigger warnings because it's a serious video and I don't know whether it's coming across or whether I am able to damp it down a bit, but I am angry. Not annoyed, angry. So the trigger warnings for this video, I'm going to put them up on screen and say them. There is going to be talk about consent, sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, and there's going to be a hell of a lot of swearing because I have been swearing inside my head all day. Now, if you are not alright with those themes and you usually watch my videos, that's perfectly fine that you don't watch this one. Protect your peace. Like I said, there was a book convention this past weekend over in America called Sinners Stardust, and it was a dark romance book convention. Now, for those of you that don't know what dark romance is, this is a definition that I found online. Dark romance books fall into a subgenre of fiction literature characterized by themes of love, passion, and often obsession, set against a backdrop of darkness, danger, or taboo. It delves into complex relationships marked by elements of psychological turmoil, moral ambiguity, and sometimes even the macabre. Now, dark romance is not for everyone. I have tried to read it before, and it's not something that I get along with very well. Now, this particular book convention was held on the 15th, 16th, and 17th of August. And according to their website, it's an event dedicated to spicy romance created by spicy romance lovers. Join us for a weekend celebrating the books and authors that brought our darkest fantasies to light. And this was a normal book convention. You have authors doing book signings, taking pictures, like different things to do throughout the day. There was a big ball at the end of it, to wrap it all up, as there usually is at book conventions now. Not only authors, but there were cosplayers as well for the books, and some of them are friends with the authors. They like to dress up. Some of the audiobook voice actors were there, as there would be, just like at, say, a Comic-Con or something. There was a lot of things that you could do, and people could mill about in with everybody, and everybody was friendly. I haven't been to a book con yet. I was planning to go to some next year, but I'm in two minds now because the things that have come out that happened at this book convention, fucking atrocious, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Because we're going to get into a post that was put up by an author. I'm going to put it on screen and I'm going to read it out as well. Alright y'all, it appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know a good friend of mine. Now, she does have his name in there and his online name, but I'm going to blank them out. He has attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a music artist. This past weekend he attended Sinners Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So, listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent? Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants? Or touch his dick? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose. Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman, despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't, and that, you know, this shit is fiction? Trash talk my books to him and try to get him to join in? The fuck? And then attempt to follow him when he tries to get the fuck away. He had sweat-resistant black paint airbrushed on his chest and was told the only thing that will move it is body oils. Why did this man end the night with almost all of it rubbed off and a handprint smeared across his chest? I want you all to seriously sit with yourselves and your actions and ask yourself if you would be okay with a strange man doing that to you. And if that wasn't bad enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received a notification that an AirTag was tracking him, which showed it on his person all the way to his hotel room. He knows how AirTags work and that the close-by ones can trigger notifications. This was not the case. Also, he got the notification way later because he had no signal at the event and it didn't come through until he got signal again. That is literally sickening, and I am ill that someone might have planted a tracking device on him. This is a book convention, people. You guys do know that these books are fiction, right? We enjoy these books because they're fiction. We do not condone these actions in real life, and while it's okay to act out your fantasies consensually with a trusted adult, it is not okay to ask a complete stranger to do so or take it upon yourselves to sexually assault him. I'm so incredibly disappointed that he was treated this way. I brought him into this space because I trusted that he would be safe with you all. And the fact that he wasn't is quite eye-opening. And boy, does this affect my decisions for my own future attendances. Especially because he was not the only one disrespected at this event by a long shot. So many authors are coming out about people crossing boundaries in a multitude of ways. I have had to have this conversation before with asking my husband gross, personal questions, so why are we taking it a step further and assaulting people now? I'm genuinely shocked that as a woman or woman presenting, some of y'all thought it was okay to act this way. And as someone who brought him into this space, I feel responsible for him, and I'm so fucking sad that some of my own readers were a part of this behaviour. If this was you, please learn basic respect, boundaries, and how to ask for consent. Treat others the way you would want to be treated by a strange man, and for the love of God, please do not ever come near me in public. The fact that people thought that this was not only all right to do, but to do it in a group setting, they felt so comfortable to do it in a public convention in front of other people. They felt so comfortable doing it. Not to mention the premeditation and intent on bringing an AirTag with you and then dropping it into this guy's pocket. Because what the fuck? He actually told them the hotel that he was staying in was the one that the convention was being held in when it actually wasn't. I don't blame him for that one little bit. Because the way these bitches were fucking doing this shit is abhorrent. It's disgusting, and you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. It's fucking vile. And a few people online are seeing this, and their response is, why didn't he push them away? Why didn't he just say no? And that kind of bullshit fucking response belongs back in the 50s with the rest of the fucking awful takes on rape. Because the body doesn't always do what you think it will do. There are 4 modes into which it goes. You can either fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Him being there and not pushing them off, your body goes into survival. How best to survive and protect itself. And if the way that the body and mind think the best way to get out of something like that is to fawn and just sort of kind of go along with it, but you don't really want to be there. You don't. And if this was the other way around, people would be up in arms, and they are up in arms, thankfully, because if a man did this, if a group of men did this to a woman at a convention, they would all be arrested by now. But this was a group of women doing it to a man. And for those that say that women cannot commit sexual assault, get a fucking grip, because yes, they can, and do, and have. And it wasn't just this guy that experienced this. Authors were experiencing it. A lot of other people were experiencing it. Now the few videos that, and I have seen videos, I'm not sure how to screen grab, and having seen them, I don't want to show what happens in them, because there is one creator who thought that it was a grand idea to take a dildo in there and have it. Was it a dildo or was it it was a strap-on, and she strapped it on underneath her dress, and her dress had a big slit up the side, and she would just flash it at people. The videos that I've seen, she would just have it under her dress, she would flash it at people without asking. A few posts I've seen that she would poke people with it while it was under her dress. Like, these are complete strangers. What the fuck are you doing? Now, the girl with the dildo underneath her dress and waving it in people's faces and thinking that was an alright thing to do, because of the backlash this morning, and I'm surprised that the backlash only started this morning, her apology is here. And she says, "Here to hold myself accountable. I am deeply, deeply sorry from the bottom of my heart to anyone who I made uncomfortable or hurt at the ball. I really truly was not thinking clearly, and I was ignorant to the fact that it would hurt some. Something I thought was just harmless fun, where a lot of others did as well. Just because a lot of other people thought that it was harmless fun does not mean that you should go waving around a dildo in public. Something I thought was just harmless fun, where a lot of others did as well, would not be viewed the same way as everyone else. It will never happen again. Being human, we make mistakes and we learn from them. I promise this was a teaching moment." In what concept do you even think that that was an alright thing to do? Not only that, but it's not like you just picked it up out of nowhere. You brought it with you. You strapped it under your dress. You took it there with you. You knew what you were going to do with it. It was in no way me trying to be malicious, but I see that it was. I did not mean to be that person in any way, shape or form, and I hate that I did that. And I hate that I did that to anyone attending the dance. Please forgive me. I cannot say how sorry I am enough. She's right there. She can't. She says, "Hi, I did not take pics with anyone who did not say yes. There were so many people who thought it was funny and had laughs with me and asked me for pictures. When a female is assaulted and men stand around laughing, do other men think that that's alright as well? Does anybody think that that's alright as well? Yes, I was ignorant for thinking everyone felt the same. I know now that's not the case. You should have fucking known earlier. You are in your 30s. And somebody replies to her that my friend that I talked to through her tears says otherwise. In fact, she asked you to delete her photo. Now, you might notice that from this apology to this post, that the name on the account has changed. That was because after she put out the apology, she changed her name on Instagram. And you will find a lot of creators get in hot water. They change their name, especially if they don't have many followers, in order to duck accountability and consequences for your fucking awful actions. consequences that are completely deserved. Now, in tandem with this, there was a video put up in the public hotel lobby of the dildo stuck to a wall, and I don't know whether she's an author or just a content creator. She is down on her knees, and you can she is sucking it off and laughing. They're both laughing about it. The video was actually fucking posted, and I won't be showing it here because it's fucking weird. And it was only on backlash that this apology came out, because this is the person that was in the video in a public hotel lobby sucking off a dildo on the wall. While I was a consenting party in a photo and video that was posted and shared of me, I first off want to apologise to everyone who I made feel uncomfortable, as that was 100% not my intention. I never want to make anyone feel unsafe in this community. I was unaware of the other actions that took place with those that were non-consenting, as I do not condone that. I honestly have zero excuses and take full accountability of my actions. I have loved being a part of this community for as long as I have, and I never want to tarnish it, and that's exactly what I did. I want to say to anyone who has violated in any way at the ball, please know that I'm deeply sorry. So you fucking should be. And a few hours after that, she posted this. I would just like to clarify that I did not touch anyone without consent. Now, as far as I know, that part is true. I did not know the girl who is doing so prior to Saturday. I was the person in the video that was in the lobby. I will 110% take responsibility for that. I have already made a post stating that I was in the wrong and taking full responsibility for this disgusting behaviour. I'm so very sorry that my actions made so many people uncomfortable. That was never my intention. I have no problem people talking about the things that I have done, but I promise you 110% I was not going up to people, showing a dick to them, running up to authors, flashing them and touching them without their permission. And a few hours later, I will be stepping away from the book's social media for the time being. I don't know if I will return, but all this is a lot for me and the people affected by my actions. Well, boo-hoo, poor fucking you. I have on my own pulled out of the events I was supposed to be attending for the rest of the year. I do not need my poor irresponsible actions to do any more damage. I know these all seem like I am trying to save face, but I promise I am not. These people only started apologising when the backlash on Threads got far too great to ignore. They're doing damage control. I fucked up by what I did in the lobby, but I will not let people blame me for things I most certainly did not do. Again, I am really fucking sorry, but please don't keep posting the pictures and screenshots. I'm a person and I made a really big mistake, and talk about me all you want, but those images do not need to be passed around like they are. If the reaction to this had been in the opposite direction, if people were saying, what a queen, be sexually free, you're doing, you're doing a fine job, I don't think she would have stopped the video, or I don't think she would have bothered or minded. I don't think she would have minded the videos and screenshots being shared around. It's only because of the backlash she's got, deservedly so, that she now doesn't want them to be passed around. Now, those are just 3 incidents that I found or was fucking subjected to scrolling on Threads this morning. The videos. Now, a couple of the videos that I've seen since then have it all blurred out, but when I saw them first thing, nothing was blurred and the whole video was up. They were posting this with their whole chest. It's not. The fact that you thought it was alright to get down on your knees in a hotel lobby and suck off a dick strapped to the wall, there's something fucking wrong with you. And for those saying, it's like I said, there are a lot of posts about this on Threads. There's a few on Instagram that I've seen, but it's mostly on Threads. And people are getting called out, and rightly fucking so. Unfortunately, because people were allowed to dress up, some of the women that did this, the fucking basic bitch predators that did this, especially to the poor guy that got surrounded by feral Buxter girls. I'm sorry, but no, you're a fucking predator. Oh, there's a reason I'm sat down, because if I was stood up, I would be fucking pacing. And you can't see it, but I don't know whether it's in shot, but I'm sort of, I have to fucking squeeze something. This book convention has been going for a few years, and they have put out a statement, which is one of the best statements from one of these cons where something has gone wrong. I say something has gone wrong. It was fucking... where the attendees physically, sexually assaulted authors and cosplayers. This is what the convention put up on their Instagram. We are endlessly grateful to every single one of you who joined us for Sinners and Stardust, those who respected the heart of this community by asking for consent and honouring personal space. Our mission with Sinners and Stardust has always been to create something rare, a space where the dark romance community can feel safe, celebrated, and free to share their love of the stories that move us most. We need to be absolutely clear. Safety, security, and consent are not just values, they are non-negotiable. No is a complete sentence. Our authors, narrators, vendors, influencers, artists, and special guests are not just names on a book cover or faces on your screen. They are people. Human beings who deserve the same dignity, safety, and respect as every attendee. They give their time, talent, and energy to this community, and in return, we expect every single person in attendance to treat them with the respect they deserve. Moving forward, the following changes will be in place at all Sinners and Stardust events. Masks. Attendees are no longer allowed to wear full masks to any part of our event. No exceptions. Medical masks for health and safety are permitted. Entertainment. Entertainment will continue, but roaming interactive entertainers will no longer be part of the ball. Safety for our guests. Authors, narrators, vendors, their assistants, our influencers, and special guests will now have a secure, dedicated area during the ball, with their own security. They may move freely between areas, but attendees are not permitted in their area under any circumstances. If an attendee is caught trying to go into their secured space, they will be immediately removed and banned from future events. Smaller, safer events. We are decreasing the number of tickets available to ensure a more comfortable, safe, and respectful experience for everyone. The rules are not suggestions, they are expectations. Violations, including harassment, non-consensual touching, photos taken without permission, invasive questions, or any behaviour that makes others feel unsafe, will result in an immediate removal and a permanent ban from all future Sinners and Stardust hosted events. These events thrive because of passion, creativity, and community, but community cannot exist without respect. Every single attendee has a responsibility to uphold these standards. To anyone affected this weekend negatively, from the bottom of our hearts, we are truly sorry and will work harder to gain your trust back as a safe and inclusive event. To everyone who respected boundaries and helped us uphold the spirit of this community, we're truly grateful. Your care makes all the difference, and we can't wait to welcome you at future events. All our love, Jen, Bethany, Joy, and Red. So, because a few of you feral bitches could not keep your hands to yourself and separate fact from fiction, or fiction from reality, a convention is now having to separate you from your authors. Authors are now having to have security from their readers, because you can't keep your fucking hands to yourself and demonstrate a behaviour that is taught to children. Do not touch someone without them allowing you to. Do not touch someone without consent. No is a whole sentence, and silence is not consent. Just because somebody is silent does not mean that is a yes for everything that you fucking fantasize about to do to anybody. So I'm going to go through some of the posts I've seen on Threads today, because unfortunately there is a mixture. Why didn't he put down boundaries? Why didn't he say no? Sounds very much like, what was she wearing? Was she drinking? Why didn't she close her legs? Do you hear yourselves? Do fucking better. You're showing your whole fucking asses, victim blaming pieces of shit. And they are, especially this morning. They seem to have gone quiet this afternoon, but especially this morning. A few people were saying with their whole chests that because the authors write about things like kidnapping, non-consent, dubious consent, obsession, stalking, etc., that not only should they experience it, but it should be expected that people would treat them that way. Because the cosplayers were dressed up as characters from these books, or they were wearing masks, because the whole mask thing is a big thing. People were saying that they should expect to be treated like that. If you can't separate fiction from reality, you have big problems. You shouldn't be allowed out from society. Just because I like horror and watch Midsummer Murders sometimes, that doesn't make me want to kill somebody. Just because I might like reading about, a guy being obsessed with a girl, doesn't mean that I expect when I meet whoever to fucking be obsessed with them. And just because an author decides to write a dark romance or erotic horror does not mean that that is a green light for those readers to then make sure that the author experiences that kind of crap in real life. It also doesn't mean that you can subject somebody who is dressing up like a character from a book that you love, that has this obsessive, morally grey villain, hero, whatever, for you to then get the green light to treat them however you like. Some of the posts I've seen are people who say that the authors, cosplayers, etc., shouldn't have these separate safe spaces at book events because they paid for tickets to meet these authors for the experience. What fucking experience? So in your mind, you think that just because you paid money to meet somebody, that means you paid money to do with them what you want? To do to them what you want? That's ridiculous. That is not how we function in society. That might be how you function in your head and in your imagination and whatever fucking fantasies that you want in your head, but that doesn't mean that you do it in real life, in fucking person. This is another post. It says, if we are going to have the conversation about consent and the sexual harassment that reportedly happened this weekend at Sinners Stardust, I'd like to draw the line all the way back to summoning book talk comment sections, harassing hockey players, and recommending spicy books to minors, because so many of these conversations get shut down by the community at large, and the inability to respect boundaries and distinguish fact from fiction is not a unexpected outcome. Now, it does tie in, this whole summoning book talk thing is a disease. it's on TikTok, but it's coming through to Instagram, it's coming through Threads, and it's coming on YouTube. But on TikTok, it's like walking into a very, very strange place. I mean, this particular thread alludes to harassing of hockey players, and that was because there was a hockey romance out at the minute, and I don't know whether it was the author herself, I don't know, or whether it was a few of the readers. They were going feral for this particular hockey player, and they were harassing his wife. They thought it was perfectly fine to do so, just because this hockey player, he had modelled for the front cover, or he was like the description of the guy in the book. People were harassing his family and stalking him because of a book. Recommending spicy books to minors, I missed that one. I vaguely remember something about it, but I really did miss it. I do remember, it was only a month ago, I think, that I saw a lady put a TikTok up calling out the book community. She does, I think she does like book videos, and I can't remember who it is, but her 16 or 17-year-old son happened to be behind her in one of the videos, and women were in her comment section just saying the most unhinged crap, and she had to put a video up calling them out on their bad behaviour. And he's a minor, he's 17, and and even in that comment section, people were doubling down and backing themselves up and backing up their friends and backing up other people that had the same opinion to them. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? This isn't fantasy. This isn't romantic. This isn't in your own imagination. This is in reality. You are really just spitting all these shit out on the internet where people can find you, and you are perfectly comfortable in fucking typing that shit out and, just outing yourself to be a predator. Well done. And the whole summoning book talk thing is something that irks. It fucking annoys me, and it's only on TikTok at the minute, but you can see it happening on BookTube as well. You come across a video of a good-looking guy, and it doesn't even have to be in the book space. It can be fucking anywhere. His comment section will be full of people saying, oh, you don't want to summon book talk. Oh, summoning book talk right now. Oh, I'm a book talk girly. And there is the most unhinged fucking comments on there, and it is all females. It's not men doing this shit. It's women doing this crap. It's so ingrained now. It's been happening for the past couple of years, and every time somebody tries to call somebody out on their shitty take, you get people coming back saying, oh, well, it's my kink. You can't kink shame me. Yes, you fucking can. Yeah, that's not a kink. That's predatory behaviour. And yes, you fucking deserve to be shamed. Because I have book in my name on here and on TikTok, if I like a video and want to comment on it, there is always a hesitation if I think that the guy's funny, or if I think the girl's funny, or if they put up a content and I want to be, it's just having the word book in my name feels like I'm doing something wrong, or that I am going to get thrown in with these fucking feral bitches that I want absolutely nothing to do with. They are not representative of the book community as a whole. The majority of the book community are beautiful, wonderful, lovely people. But that whole corner of the book community is fucking terrible. One of the worst things about this whole situation, the whole assaults that have happened, is that these people, some of them were wearing, these attendees, some of them were wearing masks and will not be identified because their friends are not going to rat them out. And nobody is going to post a video because you will be posting sexual assault. And that's a fucking crime. And they won't be brought to account for it, because people at book conventions, they don't have to wear like a name badge or anything, or even if it's not their real name, they don't have to wear like their Instagram handle or, you know, online presence. They don't have to wear any shit like this. I hope that the venue has cameras, and I do hope that they get the right consequences for their actions that they decided was a perfectly acceptable way to behave. My heart goes out to the victims of this, because I don't even know what they're feeling like now. Have I ever been a victim of SA? Yes. One of the times I didn't realise that's what it was at the time. But yes, I have. It's so hard to speak up. And the only ones that should be speaking up and reporting this type of behaviour to any authorities or anything is the people that it happened to. Because if you call people out online, you are not 100% sure that those are the correct people. You don't have proof. But some of the fucking takes on this are insane. Now, 95% of what I've seen have been calling out the bad behaviour. However, 5% are like this one. And this narrative is already being pushed on my TikTok comments that dark romance authors deserve it or welcome this type of behaviour. I'm disgusted. Now, I haven't seen any TikTok videos of it yet. It hasn't come up on my algorithm. It's not a wild take. Her fan base is acting exactly like her MMC, which is main male character. Can she help that they're delusional? She did create this fan base. You're about right, it is about having common sense, and her fan base is lacking at. It is called fiction, but they obviously don't care now, do they? We're not going to do that. We're not going to blame the authors for writing this because people cannot take ability for their own fucking actions. I like horror. Does that mean I'm going to go slash people that I don't like? No. And another one. Any person with 2 functioning brain cells can tell you romanticizing and normalizing toxic, vile, abusive, misogynistic behavior, including stalking and rape, in fiction will inevitably result in consumers being so desensitized some would inevitably act them out in real life. Consuming dark romance is no different to consuming porn. It damages the brain. You reap what you sow. Dark romance should be cancelled the same way No Mercy game was, and authors incarcerated the same way that author writing pedo fantasy was. We are not going to blame a genre for people committing sexual assault. Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like she was wearing a short skirt, so she was asking for it. She was drunk and easy. She let me do it. The authors are in no way, shape or form responsible for adult fucking interactions. Adults are responsible for their own fucking behaviour, and if it is completely unhinged, then that is their fault. It is not the authors, it is not the cosplayers, it is the people committing the fucking crime. This whole thing has me so fucking angry. You're a grown-ass adult. You know how to act. You know how to behave. You know what consent is. Especially when you're fucking female, you know exactly what consent is. So don't hide behind, oh, but I'm a feral BookTok girly, or I'm feral because I'm a dark romance reader, and you can't blame me, blame the book. I'm sorry, but the book is just ink on paper. You are fully aware of what you're fucking doing. You are fully responsible as an adult for your own fucking actions. I can see book conventions, if they don't already have a safe space for their author, the fact that they have to have a safe space for their authors and anyone with them away from their readers should be a gigantic red flag to people's behaviour, because it's not acceptable. It's not okay. I hope the people that, I don't want to keep calling them victims, the people that were on the wrong side of this, I hope they're alright. I really do. Because nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves to go into what is essentially a workspace for them and be sexually assaulted, be sexually harassed. If that behaviour was done in an office work setting, that person would be fired and probably face charges. The fact that this happened at a book convention, it does raise the question of where exactly this community is heading. Because in what world do you think shit like this is alright? Because it's not. It never has been. And fuck, it's 2025. Raise your fucking standards. I don't think I've got out of my head everything that I've been feeling today. I've been so angry just scrolling through threads and seeing it all. And like I said, the majority of the book community is a lovely, warm place, safe place, filled with lovely, beautiful, welcoming, warm people. The fact that a few people think it's alright to commit these crimes is concerning, and it's not alright. I hope that if these people are your friends that they're going to get called out, but I doubt it. I really hope that somebody faces consequences for their actions, but that isn't for me to say what they're deserving of, because I wasn't there and they didn't do it to me. So I am not the one that can accept their apology. I can read it and think they're a fucking twat waffle and their apology is damage control, what little they can fucking do. But it isn't for me to accept it, and it isn't for me to say what should happen to them. That should be for the people that they have wronged. And unfortunately, there is a lot of wronged people this past weekend. And my heart goes out to them. And seriously, the book community needs to do better.